Hey, what's up, guys? It's GranularSumo here. So today I've got just a random bass tutorial. There's two sounds that I'm going to show you how to make in this one. They're both pretty similar, but I went about making them in a slightly different way. But yeah, I just threw them together in about 5 minutes, but they're kind of interesting sounding, so yeah, here's what they sound like. Yeah, so it's like these sounds are pretty much the same as this one here. So it'll be this one and this one that I'm gonna be showing you. So I'll do this one first. I started off with an operator. I'll turn all this stuff off. Okay, so I started with a sine wave. It's being modulated by a triangle wave. I haven't done any automation on the level or anything, but I set the course to 2. And then that's being modulated by this shape that I drew in. It's basically just a sine wave, but I turned up the 4th. I think I can't see it properly, but I think it's the 4th harmonic there, just because I thought it sounded a bit more interesting. And then I turned the course up to 6. Then what I did was I turned the pitch envelope on, and I turned it up to 73% apparently. And I left these as the default, I think. And that's everything in the operator patch. So that sounded like this. Oh crap. Actually, it sounds like, yeah. So I've also put a I've also raised the attack on the second oscillator here. So it takes a little bit of time for it to like get to the full volume. Yeah, and I haven't done it on any of the other ones. But yeah, that's everything in the operator patch. Then I just have this EQ, and I've just cut out some of the second harmonic, I think it is, and I've really boosted the third one. You can see there, like I just what you call it? So if I just turn that off quickly, I cut some of this one out because I wanted it to kind of be. I wanted it to leave more room for the sub and stuff. And then I just really boosted this one because I thought it sounded interesting. So then it's going through a saturator. Just to note, I put the saturator on there first and then threw the EQ before it to like bring out the parts that I liked. So it's just a normal saturator. It's just on the analog clip setting, and I've boosted it loads. It's turned up by 12. The drive's turned up by 12 dB. So then I have a utility for some reason. Oh, I guess I was just using that for side chaining. You don't need to take any notice of that. That was just when I first did it. I was just making room for the kick. So then I have this filter. And I've just so I've turned the resonance upper load, and I've just automated it really slightly to like bring out some of the highs a bit, but it's pretty subtle, really. But yeah, that's just to kind of exaggerate the movement a bit, I guess. The movement with the pitch, the envelope at the start and stuff. So then I've got this glue compressor, just compressing it, and then I have this chain here, which basically I didn't actually end up using this sample here, well, this section here, but before I ended up resampling it, I basically just had like a dry wet chain with some reverb on the wet chain, with the dry wet turned all the way up on that, and then it's pretty default. I just turned the decay time up a bit, but I was automating that, so I was like turning here, I was turning it off, I think. Wait. Yeah, so on this one I was turning it off. But I didn't actually end up using that anyway. So then I just rendered out the sample. That's it over there. And then I dropped it into a new audio track, and I just did some more processing. There's not much else going on, really. To begin with, I threw an erosion on there, and I just turned it on to the white noise setting, and I turned the amount up a bit. I turned the width up. It's almost at full, and I sort of just put it around the highs somewhere. It didn't really matter too much where it was, just because I thought it sounded a bit better with some white noise in there. Then I have this EQ. I'll turn this stuff off. So I guess I'm just boosting the third harmonic a bit again. Just to really like get that weird resonant kind of sound. I think I just slurred my words, but whatever. I'm pretty tired today. So then it's going through camel fat. And what I've done is I cleared the preset. I just hit clear preset there, and I've just got the distortion unit turned on. The bit crushers turned up like halfway, then the tube distortions turn up to about the fourth circle there, and the mech distortion is turned up by like 2.5. That's like that's what really brings out the characteristics of the sound, if you know what I mean. And then these are just side chains from the kick and the snare. So then we'll move on to this sound. It's pretty similar. This one's a lot more simple though. So I have a sine wave to begin with. Then it's being modulated by a square 3, and I turn the coarse up to 2, and I turn the fine tuning up. And then that's being modulated by a triangle wave with the coarse also set to 2. And then I was playing around with this, but I decided that it sounded okay without it. So by itself, that sounded like this. I think there's also a pitch bend on there. And I've turned the spread up a little bit, just by up to 10% apparently. So then it's going through this EQ. Again, I did the saturation first and then through the EQ before it. So I've just boosted the lows a bit, and I've basically done the same on this one as I did on the other patch. It's just a bit more drastic. So I've cut out a lot of the second harmonic and boosted the third again. So then it's going through a saturator. I turn the drive up to 14.9 dB. Then it's going straight into camel fat. So like before, I just cleared the preset, and then it's just the distortion unit again. I've turned the tube distortion up to about 3. And the mech distortion only a tiny bit, like it's like in between the first and the second dot. And that's it actually. Then it's just being compressed. It's sidechained even from the kick and the snare. In fact, it doesn't even really need the second one because it never plays over the snare, so I could just delete that. And that's it. But yeah, I hope that was helpful and whatever. I'll be making a couple more tutorials this week, I think, while I have ideas and stuff. So be sure to check them out when they get released. But yeah, don't forget to like and comment and all that stuff. And I'll catch you guys next time.